It all began in the early 2000s when a young and ambitious entrepreneur, Elon Musk, embarked on a risky journey that could change the future of spaceflight. His idea was to create a company capable of doing what seemed unthinkable, sending people and cargo into orbit at minimal cost. After selling his shares in PayPal, Musk gathered a team of like-minded people and founded SpaceX. And this is where the real story of ambition, challenges, and astonishing breakthroughs begins. The first test came in the form of the Falcon 1 rocket, which was supposed to be the company's first step toward the stars. However, reality turned out to be harsh. The first launch in 2006 ended in failure. The rocket, which had consumed millions of dollars and the efforts of countless specialists, failed just a few seconds after launch. But Musk was not someone who would give up easily. He understood that this was only the beginning of a long journey and soon prepared for a second launch. The year 2007 brought another blow. The second launch of Falcon 1 also ended in failure. But this only spurred Musk on even more. He saw that every failed launch was a chance to learn something new and improve his technology. At a time when the company was operating at the limits of its financial capabilities, every decision Musk made could be decisive. A true miracle happened in 2008 when the third launch of Falcon 1 finally succeeded. It was a historic moment. SpaceX became the first private company to successfully launch a liquid-fueled rocket into orbit. This was a breakthrough that opened the door to future successes and partnerships. The company's next step was set to be even more exciting, as ahead of them awaited the most demanding and influential client in the world of space exploration. The butterfly effect. Moving on from SpaceX's initial failures, we encounter a phenomenon that can be called the butterfly effect. In the space industry, where every detail can be crucial, even the slightest mistake can cost millions, if not billions, of dollars. In 2007, the company tried once again to launch the Falcon 1 and once again met with failure. But what exactly went wrong? It turned out that during the launch of one of the rockets, there was a failure in the fuel system. This was an unexpected twist that demonstrated just how much success depends on the tiniest technical details. Every time the Falcon 1 failed to reach orbit, SpaceX lost not only money, but also the trust of investors. In the face of fierce competition and limited resources, Musk understood that each failure brought the company closer to financial ruin. At the same time, he maintained faith in his engineers and continued to work on the next launch with renewed energy. The task was becoming increasingly difficult, as the mistakes discovered during launches required immediate correction. In 2008, everything was on the line. If the third launch of Falcon 1 had failed, it could have been the final nail in the coffin for SpaceX. However, this time the team took every possible step to eliminate past mistakes. The drive for perfection and countless tests finally paid off. The third launch was a triumph, giving SpaceX not only confidence in their own abilities, but also their first successful step toward earning the trust of the most serious clients. With this victory, the company was ready for new challenges that promised to change the entire course of its future. The point of no return. After the triumphant third launch of Falcon 1, it seemed that SpaceX's success was assured. But behind the scenes, the company was in an extremely difficult position. In 2008, the company found itself on the verge of bankruptcy. Funds were running out, and the future was uncertain. Nevertheless, Musk did not let financial difficulties knock him off course. He knew that one more failure could be fatal, but he also understood that the success of the third launch had given the company a chance to fight for its survival. A key moment came in December of that same year when SpaceX managed to sign a contract with NASA worth $1.6 billion. This contract became a real lifeline for the company. NASA believed in SpaceX's potential and entrusted it with an important mission, the delivery of cargo to the International Space Station. This contract not only saved the company from financial collapse, but also confirmed its status as a serious player in the space industry. It was a moment when the company was able to breathe life into its ambitions. Musk understood that in order to reach new heights, innovation and new technologies were necessary, ones that could ensure successful launches and strengthen SpaceX's position in the global space industry. With the signed contract, the company gained the opportunity not only to stabilize its financial situation, but also to continue working on more complex and ambitious projects. Along with the NASA contract came industry recognition, which allowed SpaceX to attract new investors and partners. The company began developing new projects, including the Falcon 9 rocket and Dragon, which were soon to change the course of space exploration. Confidence in their own abilities and readiness for new challenges became the key factors that allowed SpaceX to finally escape the danger zone and secure its position as a leader. This new chapter in the company's history became the foundation for future achievements and ambitions that would soon attract the attention of the entire world. Liftoff from the ground. The success of the third Falcon 1 launch was the spark that ignited the flame of hope at SpaceX. However, the company's ambitions were relentless, and the next step had to be even more impressive. The Falcon 9 rocket entered the stage, aiming to show the world that SpaceX was not just ready to participate in the space industry, but to shape its future. The development of Falcon 9 was a true challenge. It required the creation of an improved system capable of carrying heavier payloads and, more importantly, successfully returning to Earth for reuse. The first flight of Falcon 9 took place in June 2010. This moment became another milestone event for the company. The rocket demonstrated not only the ability to deliver cargo to orbit, but also SpaceX's capacity to rapidly master new technologies. The successful launch strengthened the company's position and showed that its innovations could truly change the rules of the game in space. This not only attracted the interest of investors and current partners, it also strengthened NASA's trust, which in turn provided opportunities for further contracts and collaboration. The next step was the development of the Dragon spacecraft, designed to transport cargo and, in the future, crew to the International Space Station. In December 2010, the first test flight of Dragon was successful, confirming the capsule's ability to return to Earth. This was another breakthrough, demonstrating the reliability and promise of SpaceX's technologies. The company quickly gained a reputation as an innovator that turns previously impossible ambitions into reality. Behind every successful launch stood not only innovation, but also the hard work of a team striving for perfection. This was the beginning of a new era in the space industry, an era when even the boldest dreams could become attainable. Ahead, SpaceX faced new, even more exciting challenges that promised to raise the bar of achievement to unprecedented heights. Partnership with NASA. Early-stage success was one thing, but earning NASA's trust became an entirely new challenge for SpaceX. Collaboration with NASA meant not only stable contracts, but also global recognition. Faith in the company did not come immediately, since the reputation of the strictest space organization was at stake. NASA's trust had to be earned. The first steps on this path were built around the reliability and safety of SpaceX's technologies. The team understood. To win over NASA, they had to demonstrate a serious level of engineering precision. A key moment was the execution of numerous test launches and simulations. The Falcon 9 and Dragon underwent rigorous analytical tests that confirmed their readiness to operate in real-world conditions. Each successful test brought SpaceX closer to signing new contracts. A milestone was the launch in May 2012, when the Dragon successfully docked with the International Space Station, delivered cargo, and became the first commercial spacecraft to achieve this goal. This event not only solidified NASA's trust, but also became a symbol of a new era in the partnership between the government and the private sector. An understanding of the importance of attention to detail and a constant drive for perfection helped SpaceX in this crucial process. Every collaboration with NASA, every agreement reached, was not just a commercial success. It was another building block in a solid foundation of trust. Ultimately, it was this trust that contributed to the further development not only of SpaceX, but of the global space industry as a whole. Standing on the threshold of new efforts and ambitions, SpaceX was ready to raise the bar even higher. The space race of technologies. SpaceX's ambitions go far beyond simple orbital flights. The company doesn't just aim to keep up with progress, it wants to shape it, and that is impossible without innovations that change the rules of the game. Among such innovations is the rocket reusability system. Historically, each rocket was used only once, which made space flights extremely expensive. SpaceX set out to make space more accessible by developing rockets that could be reused multiple times, and this became the foundation for a revolution in the space industry. In 2015, the Falcon 9 became the first rocket whose successful stage made a vertical landing, paving the way for saving billions of dollars and significantly increasing the number of potential missions. This was exactly what Musk had dreamed of, reducing launch costs and bringing space closer to commercial accessibility. Not only was this a technical breakthrough, it also gave SpaceX a competitive advantage in the global space launch market. In addition, it's worth mentioning the Starlink system, a SpaceX project aimed at creating a global internet coverage network using numerous satellites. This project promises not only to provide most regions of the planet with internet access, but also to create another sustainable source of income for the company. Musk sees in this step not only commercial potential, but also an opportunity to support the funding of future space missions, including plans for the colonization of Mars. Each Starlink satellite launch increases the chances of success for this ambitious endeavor. The success of these technologies not only strengthened SpaceX's position on the global stage, but also demonstrated the company's ability to adapt and continue to amaze even the most skeptical observers. Even more ambitious projects lay ahead, promising to revolutionize humanity's understanding of what is possible in space. A grand vision. When Elon Musk talks about the future of space travel, he doesn't just make plans. He paints pictures of what he believes should become reality. Musk's ambitious goals reach beyond Earth's orbit. He dreams of creating a self-sustaining colony on Mars, a place where humanity can begin a new chapter in its history. To achieve this, SpaceX must develop technologies that will make it possible to safely and economically transport large numbers of people to the Red Planet. At the heart of this idea is the creation of a spacecraft called Starship, a multi-purpose vehicle capable of carrying out missions to Mars and even beyond. Starship is designed as a fully reusable system, intended to carry more than 100 people at a time. It is intended to be not just a means of transportation, but also a multifunctional tool for space exploration. During numerous tests, a technology was employed that will allow the spacecraft to enter a planet's atmosphere and perform a vertical landing, which is critically important for successful colonization. Musk sees Starship as a key element not only for Mars missions but also for deep space exploration programs. In addition, Musk is considering the creation of an interplanetary transport network that would enable not only regular flights to Mars but also journeys to more distant objects in the solar system. This bold initiative requires revolutionary approaches to resource utilization and energy generation, which in turn gives rise to new technological developments. Musk and his team are confident that these efforts will bring humanity closer to the stars, and that a spacefaring future will not just be science fiction, but a new standard of reality. SpaceX faces incredible challenges ahead, but even now, the Starlink satellites, which are already transforming our understanding of information access, prove that Musk's dreams can truly become reality. If the story of SpaceX teaches us anything, it is that even the most ambitious visions can come to life when someone with unwavering belief in their mission takes charge. Beyond the horizon. But what awaits us beyond the horizon of space exploration, and how does SpaceX continue to shape new frontiers for humanity? Elon Musk's drive toward a future where we are not just spectators, but active participants in space adventures is already changing the way we see the world. His vision of a self-sustaining Martian colony is becoming more than just a dream. Starship, the company's flagship project, is moving forward at full speed, promising to become a reusable traveler between planets. Imagine a spacecraft capable of carrying more than 100 passengers to Mars. This is not just a concept, it's a reality that SpaceX is getting closer to, with every new iteration and test. Starship is being tested for its ability to return to Earth after a mission using vertical landing. This opens the door not only to Mars exploration, but also to expeditions beyond the solar system. Space is becoming closer, and interplanetary travel is becoming more accessible. However, this is not Musk's only groundbreaking initiative. The Starlink satellite network has already radically changed the approach to global connectivity, providing internet access worldwide, even in the most remote regions. This not only improves life on Earth, but also helps fund ambitious space projects. SpaceX is turning its space achievements into a sustainable ecosystem capable of supporting interplanetary travel in the future. In this way, SpaceX is not just changing our perception of space, it is propelling humanity into a new era, where the boundaries between the stars are becoming increasingly blurred. This is truly an exciting time for anyone who thinks about the future. And although there are still many obstacles ahead, SpaceX is showing that the path to the stars is becoming ever more attainable. There are still plans ahead that could turn science fiction into reality, and SpaceX is undoubtedly ready to make them happen.